So I'm going to start this morning with a poem. This morning, it's called, ironically. This morning, oh, this life, the now, this morning, which I can turn into forever by simply loving what is here. This morning is gone by noon. So welcome to the now of this retreat. And we will, at least I will, and I hope that you do too, we will enjoy, I'm going to just mute us now here now. And there we go. Right, there we go. I'm going to enjoy every moment of this morning because it's going to be a lovely, deliciously long morning, given that it's only just after 6 o'clock. And the theme of today and the theme of this morning is the possibility that we can hold the whole world in our hearts. So many, many years ago, I was doing a retreat in a Christian tradition, and this old priest said to me, Maria Garvey, I think when you're old, the whole world will be fitting into that little heart of yours. And I loved the idea of it. I love the idea that, that I suppose, and that's what we're doing here in this retreat, that you can sit in your own home and you can invite in the whole world. And you can invite in the people that we're looking at on the screen this morning, but that doesn't stop there. There's all the people that you're touching in your lives and all the people that they're touching in their lives. And there's all the people that Médecins Sans Frontières will touch today. And they all belong here right now in this moment with us. So if you have been feeling isolated, or if like Carla, you have been holding on to in some way the pain of the world, right now this morning, in this moment, we're going to take just a moment to allow ourselves feel their presence with us, to know that our hearts are spacious enough to hold the whole of the world. So I'm going to get, as usual, my bell. And we're going to take 3 minutes. It's called, it's in the resources, it's called a 3-minute breathing space. So I invite you now just to make yourself, as usual, comfortable. Just wriggle until you feel like, yeah, I'm here, I've arrived fully. And as you sit here now, just for a moment, become aware of what you're present to, what is there in this space that you call yourself right now. Any sensations? Tingling? Any tightness? Perhaps hot, cold? Any discomfort that you might be aware of? Any sensation, any physical sensation that you become aware of right now in this moment that's calling for your attention? And maybe there's nothing. And maybe you're sitting here thinking, oh, maybe there should be something. So becoming aware also of your thoughts, the thoughts that come and go, thousands of them every day. That's just what thoughts do. They're never going to go away. They're never going to have an empty head. They're always going to be passing through like clouds in the sky. So just becoming aware now of any thoughts that might be present in this moment for you, might be arising. And also, if those thoughts produce any emotions, very often we have a thought and then we suddenly have an emotion, or any emotions that might be producing thoughts. Sadness that we've come to the end of our retreat, or gladness that we've come to the end of our retreat time, or something altogether different. Peace, anxiety, sadness, joy, whatever is there, just be aware of it. And now, just like we did yesterday, see if you can focus all of your attention and allow the breath to bring you into the center of yourself, the little part of you that can notice sensations and thoughts and emotions and sounds. That part of you that is the witness to the life that's happening all the time in and around you. So breathing in and noticing the soft rise of the body. Breathing out and letting go. Breathing in and gathering all of your attention into the center of your being. And breathing out, relaxing and settling deeper and deeper into this moment. So perhaps now taking about 5 long, slow, full breaths to center yourself right into this moment. And on the next in-breath, as the breath enters the body, just noticing your body expanding and your attention expanding out to all the edges of your body, right out to your skin, the boundary of your skin, the border. So breathing in and feeling the air move right out to the edge of you, out to where you meet the world. And as you breathe in and out now, just stretching your attention out as far as your skin, out beyond your skin into your room, out beyond your room into your neighborhood, outside your window, out beyond your neighborhood, right out into the world. Breathing in, feeling yourself expand and expand and expand and expand. Breathing out, relaxing back into your center. Breathing in, making space for every thought, every emotion, every sound, every smell, every taste, every sensation, everything. You can hold it all in this wonderful heart of yours, this breath, this in-breath that opens you up. And then letting it go. It doesn't belong to you, to this moment. It's just there. And coming back into the center of yourself. You can hold everything, the whole of the world, in this glorious heart that is expanded moment by moment, breath by breath, person by person. So welcome back into the space again. That little meditation I love. I do it very often before I go into a meeting or before I have to space into something that maybe is bigger than me, to remind myself that it only takes one breath to expand my heart. And so if I do it for 3 minutes, it's very short, very little time, but when I go back into the space, I'm here. And I'm just here ready for whatever happens. So it's a great little meditation for getting it's very often known as age. Awareness is the first bit, becoming aware of what's going on, the thoughts, the emotions, the sensations, and sometimes they're a bit chaotic in our lives. Do you know that feeling of, you hardly know what's going on, there's so much going on. So it's like stopping and noticing, to become aware of what is arising all the time, because that's our lives. Stuff will be arising all day long, and yet you're still here in this moment. And actually in this moment, there's just nothing but now. But it's still good so it's good to become aware of what's going on in the background that sometimes can feel like the whole of our lives, and still it's only noise in the background. And then we gather it with our breath. The breath is a wonderful tool, a wonderful help, I'm going to call it friend, for gathering ourselves. You know that phrase, gather yourself. Well, that's the way to do it, with deep, aware breaths, breathing in and becoming aware, stretching, expanding. I'm going to give you a little rule of thumb. It's in the resources. Love expands us, right? Whenever you know that love is present, you're expansive. You're able to give and give and give. In fact, you want to. It expands you. Fear contracts us. Notice if you're frightened, how you want to just go into a cave, you know, hold yourself like this, and you're hoping that nobody asks you for anything. You're not able. So the trick is, when you're feeling like this, breathe. Breathe in, because every in-breath expands you. And every out-breath, when you take a good enough in-breath, when I say good enough, a conscious enough in-breath, when you let go, you'll notice that very shortly your arms begin to relax and loosen. Your body begins to open. So this is how we begin to open our hearts, through breathing, stopping, becoming aware, gathering. And then when we have gathered ourselves right into the center of ourselves with that amazing breath, right down to the middle, then we can draw our attention outwards again, out into the world. And for those of you who are Christians, you may well appreciate this. When I say Christians, grew up with a Christian faith tradition, you don't have to be a Christian. I don't know that anybody is Christian in the sense of, I think it's all about love. So those of you who are committed to love in our world, and committed to there being more love in our world, very often human beings, when we say to people, I love you, we do like this. I love you. Look, I love you. But actually this here tells me that I love me, which there's nothing wrong about. But actually another way of saying I love you is to say, I love you, whoever comes. I open myself out, I stretch out my arms, and whoever you are, there is a space for you here. And for those of us who grew up with the iconography of Christianity, and the reminders and the remembrances, will know that that's the position. That's a cross. I open myself up to all that comes. It's not simply I open myself up only to the lovely, warm feelings that Hallmark tells me about love, but I open myself up to what love actually is. It's being present to whoever comes, however they come, whenever they come. I am here for you. And in the resources, I tell a story of a woman, an old woman that I used to visit regularly. And her name was Bridie. She had 16 children. She lived in a beautiful part of Ireland called Glengarriff, way down in Cork, in West Cork. And I would go to her door, and every time I'd come to the door, she did the same thing. When she was old, she was bent, she had desperate osteoporosis after all these babies that she had. and 14 of her 16 children survived, and they're all amazing human beings. They lived in a 3-bedroomed house. And anyway, she, whenever I'd go to the door when she was an older woman, she'd always say to me, come in, come in. And then she'd immediately send me to the good room to sit. And she'd tootle onto the kitchen, and you'd hear all this clattering of noise in the kitchen. And then she'd eventually come in with a tray, with teacups, a tray cloth, of course, that she had made herself, cups, boiled fruitcake or scones or whatever she had, apple pie, whatever she had baked, and a pot of tea. And then she'd sit down and she'd pour the tea, and she'd be, you know, busy, busy, busy. And then when we were sitting down ready to drink the tea, she'd always go, I'm all yours now, love. And she'd make this amazing gesture. And I knew that from that moment on, literally, she was all mine. She gave herself completely to me. So that's what we're talking about today in terms of having a heart the size of the world that can hold the whole world. To be able to give ourselves to whoever comes, to be there with them and for them. Not doing it. She never did. I mean, she did. She made tea and she did the normal things. And when I was growing up, my mother used to say, poor old Martha, in that story of Mary and Martha. It was grand for Mary. She sat down at the Lord's feet and did nothing. How would the house have gone on if Martha hadn't made the tea and done all the cleaning? You know that feeling? You know that, well, one of the things, as when I was when I was grown up, I remember reading in that scripture text, it wasn't that Martha was doing the stuff. It wasn't that that was what was causing her to be so anxious and so afraid and so angry. And it was that she was distracted by all the doing. She was doing so much that she wasn't able to be present. She wasn't able to say to Jesus, I'm all yours. She was so busy making whatever it was to give him to eat and drink that there was never a moment where she was able to say, here I am, I'm all yours. So I'm going to read you a text from Pema Chodron, who's a Buddhist nun. You can probably see that I weave Buddhism and Taoism and Sufism and Christianity all together into what I consider to be a belief or a spirituality of love. I have a deep love of Christianity and of Catholicism even. Well, Christianity maybe more than both, because I grew up in that tradition and it's cultural in me. But I have a huge love for love itself in all the ways it comes. And so I'm going to read this reflection, wholeheartedness. Wholeheartedness is a precious gift, but no one can actually give it to you. You have to find the path that has heart and then walk it impeccably. In doing that, you again and again encounter your own headaches, your own falling flat on your face. But in wholeheartedly following that path, this inconvenience is not an obstacle. No, it's not an obstacle. It's simply a certain texture of life, a certain energy of life. Not only that, sometimes when you just get flying and it feels so good and you think, this is it. This is the path that has heart. This is what I've been waiting for. You suddenly fall flat on your face. Everybody's looking at you. You say to yourself, what happened to that path that had heart? This feels like the path of mud in the face. Since you are wholeheartedly committed to the journey, it pricks you, it pokes you. It's like someone laughing in your ear, challenging you to figure out what to do when you don't know what to do. It humbles you. This journey opens your heart. So my friends, as we go forward from this retreat today, my deepest hope is that we leave this space with hearts that are more open than they were 24 hours ago. That the silence and the quiet and the togetherness and the presence of the eternal, the divine, the God, that called us to be together in this strange way at this time, that presence has stretched us. And perhaps it has revealed to us parts of ourselves that we would prefer not to know. Perhaps it has revealed to us our longing, our deepest longings. There's this lovely, another beautiful poem called Longing. Consider the Blackpoll warbler. I don't know what a Blackpoll warbler is, but it's a bird. She tips the scales at 1 ounce. She weighs 1 ounce before she migrates, taking off from the sea coast to our east, flying higher and higher, ascending 2 or 3 miles during her 80 hours of flight, until she lands in Tobago, north of Venezuela, 3 days older and weighing half as much. She flies over open ocean almost the whole way. She's not so different from us. The arc of our lives is a mystery also. We do not understand. We cannot see what guides us on our way. That longing that pulls us towards the light. Not knowing, we fly onwards, hearing the dull roar of the waves below. We don't know what's drawing us on, but we know that love will draw us on and keep us going. And even if we lose a lot of weight on the way, it's worth keeping going. So we're going to finish the meditation part with a beautiful meditation called Loving Kindness. I don't know if some of you have heard of it. The Loving Kindness meditation. So I'm going to lead you in this, and then we're going to open up again our speakers, unmute ourselves, and share at the end, before the end of the retreat, just so that we can be complete together. So I'm going to ring the bell again and bring us into what's called the metta meditation, or the Loving Kindness meditation. So coming back now to the silence we experienced a few moments ago, as we aged together, as we became aware and gathered and expanded our attention over 3 minutes, and remembering the huge journey that little bird, that little warbler makes at 1 ounce weight across the huge ocean of 800 miles, or 80 hours of flight, exactly 80 hours. Remembering that life is one enormous adventure, a journey where we have no idea very often where we're going, and even no idea why it's happening this way or how it's happening. But we just keep on keeping on. So as we open ourselves to keeping on beyond this solstice, walking into the uncertainty of the future that is awaiting us, aware now much more of the fact that life is always uncertain. But because of COVID, we've become more aware of that uncertainty. So as we face into uncertainty, as we face into the fear that we might be experiencing of not quite knowing what's going to happen, not quite being in charge or being in control, because we never really are. As we begin to realize that more and more, this morning, we can take this time to be here right now in this beautiful moment together, and to practice the possibility that no matter what happens, we will always be okay together. So as you breathe in, you may begin to say the words, "May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be well. May I know peace and ease." And turning your attention more and more now into your own heart, into your own center. Looking at yourself with love. Allowing the breath to draw love right into every cell of your body. And as you experience love, as you feel its tenderness entering your body on each breath, speak. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be well. May I know peace and ease. May I be safe. May I be well. May I be happy. May I know peace and ease. And now, calling to mind someone under whose eyes you feel deeply loved. Family member, friend, a pet, and someone that you equally love, someone that expands your heart just seeing them. And you call to mind their name right now. And as you speak the words, you can put their name in. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they know peace and ease. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they know peace and ease. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they know peace and ease. And allowing someone now to come to mind with whom you maybe have a more difficult relationship, someone that isn't quite so easy to love. And again, calling them right into the center of your heart. And by name, if it's possible. Just allowing them now to come closer as you say, may they be well. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they know peace and ease. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they know peace and ease. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they know peace and ease. And finally, drawing your attention out now, out beyond those you know and love, to those that you know and love but have not yet even met. All of those refugees and asylum seekers who have been experiencing lockout for much longer than we have known lockdown. People longing for home. People who are at home and who experience it as prison. People who are experiencing homelessness of the spirit, homelessness of the soul. People who have been wounded in every way by COVID-19. People who are frightened, people who are vulnerable, people who are human, just like us. And beyond the human, all of creation, those birds who have kept us company on the way. Particularly in these 3 months, we've never heard them singing quite so beautifully. And it's not that they sang in a special way just because it's COVID, but because we have ears to hear. Those flowers that have bloomed more brightly, those trees that have stretched their branches out more widely. Fresh water, blue skies, oceans and rivers, mines, cliffs, all of created order. And also the holes that we've blown open on the earth, the pain of digging and diving into our earth without any thought of what we're doing. All of this, all created order, all beings and all created order together. May all creation be well. May all creation be happy. May all creation be safe. May all creation know peace and ease. May all creation be well. May all creation be happy. May all creation be safe. May all creation know peace and ease. May all creation be well. May all creation be happy. May all of creation be safe. May all of creation know peace and ease. And just sitting now, being present in this wonderful moment, this only moment. Just being breathed into life, moment by moment. And with each breath, allowing your heart to stretch further and further until it finally has no boundaries, no borders. Until you are present here in love without borders. So, my dears, I'm going to unmute you. And this is an opportunity now before we finish to get connected again before we head back out into our lives. So this is an opportunity to say for you anything that you'd like to say. I just want to say before we go, Tess has put the connection to Connect Cafe on the participants chat thing, if you want to just take it, but you might not want to do that. And if you don't, we're going to send you an email later on, and we put it into the email so that if any of you want to connect into Connect Cafe at any time, you know how to do that. But you have it right now as well here on this participants chat page. So I'm now going to hand it over to you. I have one more poem to read before we finish, but I have nothing more to say. So feel free to say whatever it is you'd like to say for us to be complete at the end of this solstice time.
Maria, I just wondered, I do want to use, I haven't had time to do a quarter of the resources in the last 24 hours, but I think you said at the beginning of this hour that you'd kind of give us some guidance about not how best to use them.
Yeah, I did. Thank you so much.
I don't mean best, but some ideas about, I mean, I really like the 1 a week, thing that somebody suggested yesterday. That really appeals. So just some ideas would help.
Bypassed.
Yes, exactly. So there are many ways you can use the resources. There may be a day that a particular theme jumps out at you. There are different themes, you've seen that. There may be a day that there's a particular meditation. The meditations that I've given you during the retreat are scattered through the hours. They're not in any particular order. So you might want to look through at some stage, to look at the meditations, to pick out the meditations that you'd like to repeat. So for example, the 3-minute breathing space, if you can find the 3-minute, I can't tell you this minute what hour it's in, but if you can find that meditation, it is a fantastic practice to be able to just do the 3 minutes at work, in your office. I very often do it right here at my desk, even between emails. If I have a difficult email that I need to write and I want to get focused, I'll do my 3 minutes before I write the email to get centered. And so that I'm writing from a place of expansion, of love, not from contraction. Notice, and if you're going like over the next few weeks, notice when you're contracted. Your body will have signs of contraction. Your stomach might contract, or your heart might beat faster, or you might notice you're walking around with your fists clenched. So whenever you're in that space, just do the 3-minute breathing space, because you'll notice that it will expand you. And where there is expansion, love is present. The one very strong sign of love is that it's drawing you, it's expanding you, it's softening you. So that's what you want to get to: soft and expanded and drawn out, drawn forward. So that's one. So you can, I would, if it were me, I would look through all of the resources over the next few days and pick out meditations that you might have done in these days that you'd like to begin to practice. And I would say to anybody, start with the 3 minutes. Because if you did the 3 minutes breathing space 10 times a day, you're going to have done 30 minutes of meditation, and it'll be an ongoing practice of staying open. Yes, I do think, I was actually talking to somebody last night, I think taking one of the themes a week between now until the end of December is a great way, and just spending time with. But really, I'd say it's up to yourselves. Also, there are meditations that work for some people, like the body scan really works for some people and doesn't work for others. There's a sitting meditation, which is about 35 minutes, that works really well. For many of us who pray, the centering prayer practice is one that works for us. I do 20 minutes of centering every day. I would suggest to you, if you're starting to create habits on meditation, try not to exceed 20 minutes when you start. 20 minutes is the recommended amount of time. More experienced practitioners can spend longer, but if you set yourself too big a target, you will fail. I mean, even just doing 3 minutes 5 times a day or 4 times a day is better than saying I do half an hour once a day, but only doing it once a month. You know, and again, I would say to you, if you do want to have practices of staying present and of expanding yourself and keeping yourselves open to life and to love, then better to do one thing every day than 10 things on one day. So while retreats are amazing, and they really are, and it's a great way of refreshing ourselves and bringing ourselves back to the best of who we are together. And it's really important to have times together with people. We do a lot on a retreat, but a little every day is a little bit more powerful than a lot on one day. So that would be my recommendation. Does that help, Elaine?
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to leave it open again now to anybody else.
I got involved in this quite by accident through my sister Maureen, and I found it a great experience, and just thank you together.
Yeah, and Barbara, thank you for the reflections that you offered. Maureen is a member of Connect Cafe. Well, there's no member of Connect Cafe. She drops in regularly, and Maureen undertook to prepare some of the reflections under the nurture buttons on the reflections, and she enrolled the help of half her family, and Barbara is one of her family of 11 children. Isn't that right, Barbara?
That's right, yeah.
So thank you so much
I enjoyed
for being part of this.
I enjoyed it.
That's wonderful.
That's funny. I wasn't going to say anything and the thing came up on me.
Now you can.
Thanks, everybody. I really enjoyed it. I was on the resources yesterday and they were fantastic.
Oh, you're so welcome. I have wanted so much to share some of this with you, Mairead, for a long, long time, because I think we're, though we're cousins, and even though we're cousins, our hearts are very similar. So it's just lovely to have you here. It really is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
I
everybody.
just wanted to say thank you as well, Maria. I really enjoyed it. I maybe didn't do as much yesterday as I wanted to, but I want to do it over the next few weeks. And sometimes to go on a retreat in another place or country needs a lot of preparation, but it's just great that we could do it from home and not booking a flight or booking accommodation, that we can just be at home and do it. So
yeah. Oh, Connie, yeah, and enjoy the resources. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you in the cafe from time to time,
yeah.
In between. We have a session on a Sunday morning in the cafe at 11 o'clock generally called Inspiration Coffee. And the name describes it all. So if ever you want to drop in on a Sunday, now I know that Canadians is not possible. And indeed, for people who go to their own churches, it's not always possible. But for those who are free and available, Inspiration Coffee is a lovely time to just remind one another that there's more beyond our lives than just what we see.
Well, I just want to say thank you. I hope you can hear me. I don't know.
Yeah, we can.
For the opportunity to drop in and have some guidance, some ideas, some calmness going through the days and hopefully through the next weeks. Thank you very, very much for everybody as well to share that.
Yeah. Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted again. You're muted. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you as well. It's been a brilliant time. And I really enjoyed kind of coming back to myself. And, sometimes it's useful. Like I've done more over the last 3 months in terms of meditation reflection than, I kind of normally do. But it's really good to have that kind of concentrated time to do it. So yeah, it's been great. Thank you. And I was also able to, I did just check that I could get those videos. So
Yeah.
they're all when I stumbled out of bed this morning, I sort of like, I'm just going to go and see before I go on. So yeah, thank you. That's going to be brilliant to be able to go back.
Oh, it was a pleasure, and thank you. And if you do, any of you see something in the resources that isn't working, please let me know, because I can fix it very easily. And it would be a shame to have people be frustrated for no good reason. And I'm really grateful to Rachel that you pointed that out to me, and that Claire pointed something else out to me this morning. I'm always grateful for that kind of, that feedback. It really helps. So thank you.
Just like to say thank you very much, Maria, for all the meditation. I think it really gives me strength and helps me to cope.
Oh, and Brenda, that makes my heart sing. And thank you for being the amazing, wonderful woman that you are, and for bringing John into the world, because he lives inside my heart in more ways than you can imagine. I think, who was it that said, I think, therefore I am? Was it
Descartes?
Descartes. Well, John smiles, and therefore we are. I prefer to think that just one smile from your beloved John or Brenda changes the whole world. So thank you for saying yes every single day to being there with him, and to your husband. Remind me of his name again.
Paddy.
Paddy, yes. To you and Paddy for being such extraordinary parents, and for bringing into the world such an extraordinary man who's suffering in a way, has this amazing capacity to make the world a better place for the rest of us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm glad that this retreat gives you space and strength. And stay in touch.
I will, yes.
Please do.
Thank you.
And I got a little disruption there, and I want to say a special hello to Martha, because I don't know how to send messages. Sorry for the little disturbance there. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. And Martha, you look so incredibly comfortable there.
Yes, I am. It's been really lovely. It's been nice because I've just opened my window and really welcomed in the light into my eyes in the morning, because I find it hard to get up in the morning. And today it's been really nice way of waking up. So thank you.
And Martha has been working frontline with families in the health services, families who are in lockdown, and with children and teenagers who find that difficult. So thank you for all you've been doing while some of the rest of us have been having coffee and Connect Cafe. We've got another minute or so if anybody'd like to come in, and so we can go a little bit longer if people are bursting to say something. But
Maria.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go Marella.
Maria, it's just lovely to receive, it really is. And what a fabulous job you all have done here. What amazing resources, and really is it's a work of love, of joy, and I feel grateful to have you in the world and everything that you attract into my life as a result of that. So thank you.
Thank you. And I work sometimes with Marella in this most magnificent yoga and well-being and health. No, more than well-being, it's more than yoga and well-being. It's just a magnificent living, loving centre, the heart of Northern Ireland in Omagh. And we've done retreats together many times. And it is sometime maybe you'll all get the opportunity to see what Marella has created at the heart of Northern Ireland. And we've worked with people who have been very hurt by what we call our troubles, but in the way we work together in this retreat. So I look forward to doing much more of that, Marella.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll take one or two more people, and then I'm going to read a last poem.
Maria, I would like to say thank you to all of you that I could be sharing this with you. For me, this whole lockdown situation has been really two-sided. One side really being busy with here within our community, and the other side also a very silent side, what was in the beginning I found not so easy, but actually through media, through being able to do the IRES course with Marella, to find like-minded people, and to really feel that people were there for you, was a very, very special experience for me. And I'm very grateful for that. And I lost my word yesterday, and I'm still in that space. Thank you very much, all of you.
You're so welcome, Kusta. And it's lovely to see you after so long. It's just great to be with you.
Yeah.
Paddy,
Maria, just 3 words. Creativity comes to me. You know, you talk about new situations in lockdown, people connecting. Just the way, like I know many people are doing it, but using Zoom, say for retreat, bringing people from all over the place, fantastic. So for that creativity, your commitment, that desire to share and reach out to people, and your very expansive heart for the amount of people that you have touched and continue to touch all over the place. And just to say thank you very much and keep going.
Thank you, Paddy. And for those of you who might not realise, we've been joined throughout this by Paddy and Hugh, who are both SMA priests, which would be African mission priests. So you've known some of the poverty, and you've experienced firsthand some of the people who might not get the kind of care that we get during these COVID times. So I've been very present to the fact that you bring with you parts of the world that most of us haven't even experienced, don't know about. And I've been very present to those people during this retreat. So thank you, Paddy, now that you're back in Ireland. But you carry all of those people. Everywhere you go, they're always present, you and Hugh together. So, and for your priesthood and for your openness to beyond anything that limits us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, is there anybody who wants to say one final word? And then I'm going to read a poem.
Maria, I'll say congratulations, if that's all right, and well done to you and to Tess. And I know there are other people on the screen that contributed to making your wonderful team for making this possible. And how lovely it was to see all the postage stamps from people's sacred spaces all coming together to feel your embrace and love. Thank you so much.
Leslie, it's been a joy having you with us. Thank you. So,
sorry, can I just say, I said a little bit this morning to the very first people that were here. I want to say thank you to you all. I'm here thanks to 2 amazing ladies who are Tess and Elaine. Elaine started the walking group for us women who just come. We have nothing really in common, but we all walk together. And so I thank Elaine, and then I met lovely Tess, who is what's brought me here today. And I'm going to try not to cry, because my life has been very complicated, but thank you.
Mel, you have been a rich and wonderful gift. And you know, there's a big theme for this retreat is to be able to be human and vulnerable together. And I think we probably all experience that those who share their vulnerability bring us all into a shared humanity. And thank you so much for, and I loved the little men that you were, the little people you were holding up yesterday, these little people connected. Yeah.
I went to sleep dreaming of you with your little men. I was dreaming of you and cutting them all out and holding them up.
Yeah. It's you guys. It's what you've done for me.
Well, you're going to, you know where Connect Cafe is. I've said that I'll be committed to keeping Connect Cafe going until the end of August, but I'm really hoping that we can create a community who will keep it going long term, because we don't need to be connected only in COVID times. We need spaces to connect together at all times. And on that, I'm going to call this retreat to a close with one final poem. Tess and I have prepared an email we'll send out to you later on today. It would be lovely to see and meet you all again. We'll give you the details for Connect Cafe if you want to connect in. And I won't even tell you what's in the email. It'll be a surprise. I will, if possible, do another similar retreat for the equinox, the 21st of September. That's all things being equal, but that's my hope. And in the meantime, I'm going to read this poem as a little bit of advice. Walk, don't run. That's it. Walk, don't run. Sit down, breathe deeply, and open your eyes, because there's a whole world right here within this one. The bush doesn't suddenly catch on fire. It's been burning the whole time. Moses is simply moving slowly enough to see it. And when he does, he takes off his sandals, not because the ground has suddenly become holy, but because he's just now becoming aware that the ground has been holy the whole time. Efficiency is not God's highest goal for your life. Neither is busyness, or how many things you can get done in one day, or speed, or even success. But walking, which leads to seeing, now that's something. That's the invitation for every one of us today and every day, in every conversation, interaction, event, and moment, to walk, not run. And in doing so, to see the whole world right here within this one. So what an apt way to finish our global retreat, to see the whole world that's right here within this one. So go on into your days, my friends. I'm going to have my breakfast shortly and maybe have a little nap before we gather in Connect Cafe at 12 today. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for making this perhaps the most wonderful solstice, summer solstice I've ever had. So we get to say goodbye to each other and go into our days. Tess, is there anything you'd like to add before the end?
Only to say that the first Connect Cafe that some people who haven't been in a cafe before might like to know is at 12 o'clock today, UK time. So we might see some of you again very soon. If not, maybe later in the week.
Okay, so listen, goodbye, my dears. Namaste. The divine in me greets the divine in you, and the divine in us greets the divine in all of creation. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Take care. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Well done, Maria.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, everyone.